Hey folks, this is Ben Yessel. How's it going? I just watched a video by Hoeg about all this stuff having to do with YouTube's new terms of service. Um, and, you know, I'm not really going to say I agree or disagree with what he's saying. I'm sure he knows what he's talking about. But what I have to say has a great deal to do um, with the integrity of YouTube, or I should say the transparency of it, and what it's promised versus, well, I'm going to rephrase that. It has to do with um, the extent to which it's been very candid about what its legal powers are. I'll put it that way, to use the site. So when you buy a video game, it's understood that you want to buy the video game to play it, right? Not to. There's a whole bunch of other stuff that you can't do with it, or you shouldn't do with it. That's whatever. When you have there's a lot of things, whether it's something physical or something. Um, I don't know. Colleges have their own policies and um, programs have every program, everything that you spend money on has its policies and things. If you had a Blockbuster account, or if you have a library card, or anything, or all kinds of stuff like that. Everything, every company, right? I should say every company has or every institution really of any sort has its own policies and things. And with something like YouTube, we know what what things were, the things that we shouldn't upload. We know what the things that we shouldn't do on YouTube. In general, I think, but many of us maybe have forgotten that YouTube, even though it's free, it isn't free. It is, it costs money for YouTube to do what it does, and um, yeah. So we maybe all of us have been feel like we've been entitled to use YouTube in the way that we've been using it for who knows how long. And this I'm saying this video that by Hoeg was pretty pretty beefy and substantial. And I'm not, you know um, the only problem is that even though YouTube is trying to be more clear, much clearer about what its rights are and what its policies are and everything, it should have been that way from the start. It should have been really clear to everybody what rights YouTube had or what rights content creators had. It should have been all up front. The reason why it wasn't, in my opinion, was so that more people would use it. So the more people that used it, the more money YouTube would make, or it would grow very fast and stuff, and it did. So, basically what I'm trying to say is this. YouTube has been dishonest with everybody to a certain extent. If they have in the past kind of enjoyed, we'll say, the popularity of YouTube. I guess that's the best way of putting it. But, because there are things like national laws and things like we're seeing about child COPPA laws and things, and many, 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 many other things that can affect YouTube's profit margin, right? Um, so yeah, they're. I think what I'm trying to say is they're a business, and like all businesses to one extent or another, um, You know, yeah. I mean, but see, the thing is that we would have liked to have YouTube let us know more candidly what was happening on their end from the very start of YouTube. How much money YouTube, I mean, we'd like to know how much money YouTube spends for our channels, and but we aren't always aware of the fact that YouTube is still in control of the channels we have on YouTube. Now, I suppose we can hopefully take our content and we can move it to any other video provider. I'm still wanting to watch videos about this very thing. But whether or not our channels are commercially viable or not, it's really almost impossible to say if they are or not. Unless they're big or if they have tons of subscribers. At this point, I still don't know, even though my channel is not monetized, it's free. I don't know if YouTube is going to delete it or not. And when that happens, I don't know if YouTube's also going to delete my Gmail account. There is no reassurance from YouTube. There's no reassurance that's not going to happen. Right? There's nothing. So, regardless of however I feel about Hoeg law, spelling out these things, the company that we should all be watching very closely and still asking questions toward is YouTube, and it's ultimately Google. If I had a way of getting through to Google, talking to somebody who worked at Google, and asking them all these questions, like, am I going to lose my Gmail account? Am I going to lose my YouTube station or channel because YouTube doesn't find it's commercially viable? Is that going to happen? I mean, I still want to do that. I still feel like I need to do that. I need to know this. And so do all you guys. Especially you guys that actually have channels that make content. So again, I think I'm trying to say is that this particular video, although it was definitely informative, was not reassuring at all. And we've enjoyed using YouTube because it was free and because there was so much content on it. But that content was provided by people that spent effort and time, their own time on this content. And I know that there are others like I think it's George Sprave, or German guys, requiring YouTube, expecting YouTube to pay content creators more for what they do. So at the end of the day, the person the company that needs to buck up and get their tail in gear is YouTube. We're all just using the service, and if there's another service that we could use that we like more than YouTube, but we're gonna use it, I would think. Anyway, you guys leave your thoughts and comments below. Catch you guys there.